So today's video is going to be an interesting one. It's hot on the press, it is trending, and everybody in the world, when I mean in the entire world, is talking about it, okay? And it is the Ressa Teesa's story of who the F did I get married to, okay? If you've not seen it before, maybe I'll put some clips here and there for you guys to understand context, but I'm going to give you background. I'm going to talk about it because it's important in today's world. It's part of what I do, it's part of what I talk about, it's part of what I've even experienced personally, okay? So let's get into the video. So hey guys, hey fam, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Soto Kelechi Wuzi, aka Sweet Baby Sweet Mama Sweet Special. On this channel we talk about lifestyle, we talk about the law, we talk about womanhood, things that affect girls, us, okay? We talk about all those trending topics and every other thing in between. So today's video we're going to be talking about the story, 50 plus parts plus live videos plus interviews and everything. It's a series on TikTok created by this lady called Ressa Teesa, I believe. I'll put her TikTok handle here. And she talks about the story of her meeting her ex-husband, dating him, how they got married, how they eventually got divorced, and finding out that he is a pathological liar. That everything he said, when I mean everything he said was an entire lie. You guys, we've talked about Tinder swindler on this channel. You guys have seen that. We've talked about so many guys that's catfished and all of that stuff. We've talked about so many crazy things, and we've seen crazy things on this channel, but I don't think there's anything that has been as captivating, shocking, scary as this story, because the dedication to the lies, the dedication to traumatizing this lady is unheard of. It's unmatched. I've not seen it. I've not heard of it anywhere. So let me give you the gist before I talk too much, and then we'll get into analyzing it. So this lady talks about the fact that I think she's a plus size lady, African American. Okay, those two things are important because anyway, they're important. So let's just note that. But she's older, I think, okay, because she said the man was 42 at the time. So this was, by the way, this was during COVID, when COVID first started, 2020. So she's older, he's older, and she's ready to get married. Okay, she meets this guy on Facebook, okay, Facebook dating site, and she also meets him on Hinge. So they match on two different platforms, which already is a kind of, well, not necessarily a red flag, but it's an alarm bell, because somebody that has two different platforms seeking for a partner, okay. But anyways, they meet and then immediately go for a date. On her way to the date, okay, her tire blows out, like literally her tire burst, and then she needs an emergency to change the tire, and this guy comes in, swoops in to save the day. He pays for a brand new tire. He pays for a brand new tire. They go on their dates, and he's talking about all the things he does, how he works with Apple, how he works with Apple, how he used to play professional football, and I think they call it arena football. Let's pause here to discover that arena football is like playing monkey post in your backyard. Let's just put it that way. Like, it is basic, it's not something to write home about, but a lot of people have not heard about it. So I feel like he gauged it and was like using that to reel her in. Okay, he paid for the date. He talked about how he was even divorced. He was married previously, that she cheated on him, and then he ended up getting divorced. He's still in his stepchildren's lives. So he was just giving her all these stories that she didn't really ask for, according to her tale, how she narrated it. She didn't really ask for it, but then, you know, things led to one other, and one thing led to another. She felt he was good looking, he dressed really nicely, and it was like, okay, no wahala, no problem. And then fast forward a few days later, like less than a month later, they're talking about moving in together. Why? Because lockdown suddenly happens and all the states are locking down. And because they are talking every day, they are getting closer. It's like, okay, well, are we going to quarantine in your house or my house? Okay, which house are we going to quarantine in? She goes to see his house. He's living in a dingy studio apartment, and she lives in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Okay, and the guy's like, okay, we're moving into your house. Somehow they move into her house, and then she gets pregnant. You guys, she gets pregnant, and they start looking for a house. And this guy claims he has a lot of money. He wants to buy this amazing house. He puts in an offer. He even shows her like a loan agreement from a bank and blah blah blah. And this girl is believing all the dreams that he's selling. She's believing all the dreams that he's selling. Time to pay for the house now. She finds out that, oh, the house was not actually under contract like he said, and that somebody else has already paid for the house. So she caught him lying, but she kind of excused the lie, which I don't really understand, but I also understand at the same time. Sometimes you're just like, okay, if it's just a tiny little bit of a lie, everybody lies, nobody's perfect. You're just trying to make excuses because you think you have found your dream man, okay? You think you have found the guy for you because he ticked a lot of her boxes at the time. Anyway, but as things progressed, she ended up losing the baby, and the process of losing that baby, he didn't show up. He claimed he was at a job, like they promoted him to VP in his company. Okay, so he was busy. She ended up having to she needed a D&C, and the day before the D&C was his birthday, and he still went ahead for them to celebrate the birthday, knowing that she had already lost her child. They did a scan, and there was no heartbeat. Okay, and then you guys, the thing will just blow my mind per episode. They ended up doing his birthday, and then the next day she went for the procedure, and he was nowhere to be found. He even told her family members not to contact her, to give her like a week and things like that. The nurses, the doctors, everybody was like, where is your fiance, where is your partner? And he's nowhere to be found. So let me fast forward the long story, because I think you guys need to listen to this story yourselves. As things were progressing, he proposed to her. After the whole D&C, she calmed down, everything went well. Like the surgery went well and she was fine. And then a proposal happened, and the proposal was the most unromantic thing ever. Like, he took her to pick 3 rings, that she should choose between 3 rings, and she chose the one that she liked out of the 3 rings. And then he later on went to say, okay, I'll propose to you later. And then one day while we were having dinner randomly, he brought out a box and stamped it on the table, like threw it on the table. And she was like, what's this? He's like, open it. And she opened it, and he was like, okay, now I guess you're going to be my wife. And I'm like, no. My proposal was the most unromantic thing ever. But there was still thoughts, there was still emotion, there was still excitement. It was so sentimental to me. But imagine being that, like, okay, just because we're living together now, this is the logical next step, right? And so yeah, they got married. Her parents, her family, they're barely involved and stuff like that. As soon as they got married, all the little mushy things she was even managing stopped. Like, he just flipped. And where have we seen that before? It is a tale as old as time. Like, once you feel like you've gotten the person, you just switch. But the thing that made me go crazy is that the fact that he was trying to promise her things. Like, you've got this baby, you've done all the things you need to do. Why do you still need to string her along, get her excited, and disappoint her? So he took her on several house tours and car tours and all of these tours, claiming he wanted to pay cash, 700,000, I want to say naira, dollar cash for the house that he was looking at, but he didn't have the money. Okay, he had a bank statement, he had a checking account, he claimed he had an offshore account. But when the realtor and the sellers asked for proof of funds, he refused to show proof of funds. He took them on a journey of testing out over 15 cars, according to her. They got to the one that she loved. I think she said it was either the Audi or the BMW. She had to choose between both of them. Dark blue with cognac interiors. I remember that she said cognac interiors because I went to look it up. And he told her to wait at home, that between 1 and 3, they're going to deliver the car. She actually waited for them to deliver this car, and this guy was nowhere to be found. Neither was the car anywhere to be found. She waited at home for this car, and then he ended up getting her like a Nissan Altima or something like that. From an Audi or BMW, or like, make it make sense, okay? And you ask me, why was this girl still in this thing? Anyway, he kept talking about his family members. Oh, I even forgot this part, that every morning before he went to work, that he would be on the phone with his brother for like 30 minutes plus every morning. I think she said 6:15 a.m. She'll be on the phone with his brother. He would be on the phone with his brother. So, and I think she FaceTimed some family members and everything. So she knew that he probably had family here and there. But it turns out that he was talking to Breeze. He was talking to Air. There was nobody that he was talking to. Like, he was dedicated to the lie, to the con, to the scam. But I don't even know what was the end game. He was dedicated to this, okay? Because apparently all his family had cut him off. He wasn't talking to anybody. He was just on the phone pretending like he was talking to people. He claimed he had an assistant. Till today, we don't know whether David is real or not. Okay, so many things. This guy was just lying, and they discovered so many things. Even the VP in the office and the job he said he was doing, he wasn't actually like working with Apple. Like, he wasn't a tech bro. Like he was trying to claim. He was a forklift driver. I mean, nothing wrong with that according to her, but it's like, hey, it's like claiming that you are Steve Jobs, but you are the mechanic in Apple. Do you get? Like, it was just a whole elaborate lie. So many lies till they ended up getting divorced, and present day she's talking about this story. Like I said, if I find the link to the first episode, you can, I'll put it there, or you can just go check out her channel or her page on TikTok and just binge, because I actually had to watch it. I've not even finished watching the live ones because there are now questions. People are asking question and answers. And as of today, like as I'm talking to you guys right now, they found the son of his ex-wife, okay, because he was married before, like I said, he was divorced, that claimed that she cheated on him. They found the son, and the son is corroborating this lady's story. Then some other girl that I don't understand her like thinking found the man himself, who she called Legion, found him, and he is kind of trying to debunk some of the stories and say she's like, but Oga, we don't believe you. There's nobody that can be this detailed. And she had audio recordings. She, like, when she started second guessing herself, feeling like, I don't understand why this guy is lying. I don't understand why there's something wrong here. Like, he's claiming I'm cheating on him, but my neighbor has cameras and showed that nobody came to the house. The man claimed that somebody came to her house looking for her with a black Dodge, okay, something Dodge, yes, a Dodge, and then the guy didn't realize that she had security system and that her neighbor had a security camera that could show her entire drive-through. He did drive-through. He had no idea about that. She checked and there was nobody there. So this guy was deliberately creating scenarios to gaslight her, to ruin her day, to just do a lot of things, okay? I don't know. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Okay, so why are we talking about this today? I want to say something, okay? I started this video by saying she was plus size, plus African American. I know that in communities these days, like plus size thick girls like us, we are now reeling. Okay, lots of us are like the in thing, plus size models and all of that. But there was a time where it wasn't popular to be plus size. Okay, you were shamed on, you were abused, body shamed, and a lot of things. And a lot of women, regardless of how beautiful you think you are, how whatever, how godly, how all of that thing, everything else you think you are, everybody wants companionship. Everybody wants to be loved and feel loved. So I understand when she said that she felt it was like her time. It was finally her turn. She felt like she had found her person and she stuck to it, okay? I understand that. I did that for 2.5 years, or a year and a half. Yeah, almost 2 years, yes, in a previous relationship. I've talked about it on this channel. Thank God I privated that video, but I've talked about it and I understand it. Where you think you've compromised, sort of, you think you found, so you want to just settle and you just want to be there and build around that storyline. Even though she could see the alarm bells, even though she knew that things were not adding up, to the point where she was recording herself and questioning herself, like, oh, today he did this, but it doesn't make sense. Oh, today this happened, but it doesn't make sense. Yet she went ahead and agreed to marry this man. She even had a child for this man. They lived together after such a short period of time. Everything I'm telling you, okay, seems like an episode or 5 years of marriage or 10 years of a chaotic marriage. This was within months, okay? Everything was within months to a year. They moved in together after a month. They started looking for houses in March. They met in February, okay, around her birthday. Are you hearing? So things went pretty quickly. Now, another thing I would like to say is that lockdown was a blessing and a curse for a lot of people, because people were quarantined in a lot of spaces. So marriages blossomed. Okay, we know that some people had the chance to talk. People who were busy doing regular things like 9 to 5 all the time, they were forced at home, so they were forced to talk and communicate and find ways to rekindle their relationships. Some people started new jobs, new businesses, and things like that. But other people were trapped in abuse. Okay, other people were trapped in abusive situations, and we talked about it in FIDA, International Women's Day, years ago. We talked about how a lot more cases of domestic violence, of rape and abuse were reported during that period because there was no way out. Police systems were slower, emergency systems were slower, nobody wanted to come out because of fear of COVID and fear of dying. So a lot of people stayed in things that they would ordinarily not have stayed in if quarantine didn't happen, and that happened to her. I feel like if she had interacted more, if she had gone out more, they were able to do a lot more things, okay, not just being stuck in the house, working from home. Maybe her friends and her family would have noticed some things. Maybe she would have gone out more and noticed some things and escaped this her reality, but she didn't. The next thing is that men lie. Okay, people lie in general, but a lot of men lie just to get what they want, okay? And some people are sick in the head. So this is not just lying, this is narcissistic, pathological this is a mental disorder, okay? Because it does not make sense. I don't see the end goal. If you say you're trying to be a gold digger, the woman didn't have that much money. She was okay living from paycheck to paycheck, had a bit of savings here and there, but she was not balling, okay? She was not rich. So what exactly were you looking for? The companionship, just to trap her in a relationship, just to, say that you were there? Do you understand? Like, I don't know. I don't get what it was. So people lie, and there are always red flags, okay? Now, these red flags that we like talking about, yes, there are always red flags. Yes, there are always signs. Yes, there are always alarm bells. But sometimes we are not capable of understanding or seeing them till it's already late, till things have already happened, okay? I think her emotional state, her vulnerability, her just the way she was, and the times, exactly like I said, the quarantine and all of that made her not identify and act upon the red flags that she was seeing. And another part I said, like her vulnerability of feeling like there's a way we give ourselves timestamps. We give ourselves dates. We give ourselves like, today I'm going to get married. By the end of February, by the end of 2024, I'm going to get married. I'm going to have 2 children. When you're doing your prayer points, you're praying for your husband, you're praying for twins, you're praying for this and praying for that. So when anything resembling anything you've prayed for, anything you've asked for, anything you've tried to manifest, depending on what you believe, comes knocking at your door, you don't even question it. You don't even second guess it. You are straight, this is it, this is it, this is it, and I'm going to stick to it, whether it's good or bad. Do you know that people who are supposedly meant for each other have problems in their relationship? Talk less of people who are manipulated into being in the same relationship. What do I mean by this? Even when I know my husband is the love of my life, I know that God spoke to me about my husband, I know that we're meant to be together, we have issues steady. I mean, like quarreling, bickering, tit for tat here and there, some petty things, some bigger things. Just imagine that is the reality. No marriage is perfect, no thing is perfect. But when you now put people who are manipulated into being with each other, what do you expect? And the thing that I noticed is that the manipulation was so bad that she started second guessing herself. Like I said, she was now questioning her sanity. So this was more than lying. This was more than abuse. This was psychological warfare. This guy was playing with her mind, because she would see the bank statements. She saw his account. She saw the grave that he showed her of his grandparents that died. Oh, this person died from COVID. Oh, this person died from COVID. Things in his life. He was dropping bombs. She saw him talking to his brother on the phone every day at 6:15 for several minutes, because according to him, his brother finished like night shift in the morning and he started his own shift in the morning as well. So this was the only time they could talk. She kept seeing him have this conversation. So to her, it's like, I'm seeing these things, okay? She forced him to show him some bank statement, and she saw some money in his account. When he was trying to pay for the cars and pay for the house, he printed out the tax, he printed out this, he always had a printout, he always had evidence for the lies. Yet her intuition was telling her that something is wrong, something is not adding up, something does not make sense, okay? And so in the midst of trying to be in a loving relationship, she was battling her mind. Do you understand the kind of warfare? And this is why I say domestic violence is not just violence. It's not just physical violence. It's emotional, it's psychological, it's financial. It's a lot of things. And we need to start identifying these things. So long and short of the story is that this babe went through a lot. She dealt with a lot. Okay, she experienced a lot of trauma, and she's sharing her story for a lot of people to learn and pick up on it. I know that sometimes it's not even just because you're older. Sometimes you just want to get married. You just want to feel among. You just want that companionship. You just want to say, oh, I'm Mrs. Somebody or Mr. Somebody. But if you see and your mind and your spirit is telling you that something is wrong, something is most likely wrong. And I love the part that she admitted that she was a Christian. Yes, she compromised. Like, she was never supposed to be living with the man, okay? She wasn't supposed to get pregnant out of wedlock. She even admitted that the Holy Spirit, she felt the Holy Spirit was trying to tell her something, but she was so convinced of her own thought process of the pattern of her life that she refused to listen, till it had gotten to this point where things started to fall apart, and she started discovering, she discovered through social, I think it was a social situation, security number. She googled it or something and found out that everything he said was it just started crumbling and things started coming out from different places. Again, go and watch it. So yeah, I just wanted to share with us this story and just take lessons from it. Women, we know, just first of all, know your worth. Okay, know your worth. When somebody, just the smell, when you smell a sprinkle of disrespect, a sprinkle of, you know, trying to put you down, a sprinkle of unnecessary insecurity, if the person does not trust you, okay, there's something is wrong. Every time a man uses your infidelity against you or lack thereof, check it. Because a lot of men, or a lot of this kind of men, know that they are messing up. So when he was messing up, or when he would do something that they might catch him, he will bring up the fact that, oh, her ex somewhere, okay, is probably like contacting her, or she's cheating on him or something. And that brings me to another point. When you are in love, you are getting in love, you are feeling in love, don't be so quick to speak about all your vulnerabilities. Don't be so quick to tell about everything about your life. There was something this guy did that was incredible. Actually, two things. The first one was mirroring her. While he was trying to get her into his net, he did something called mirroring, where he watched her and watched her values, things that mattered to her, and copied them. Okay, she talked about family, how close she was with her family, her mom, her aunt, her this and that. Before you know it, this guy started bringing up family members here and there and calling them and talking to them and FaceTiming and all sorts of things, family that did not exist. Do you get? And the second thing that he did that, you know, it was highlighted to me, was the fact that he used her pain, her past experiences, to gaslight her, or to deflect from his lies. So whenever he would say something wrong or do something wrong, he would say, oh, your ex did this, or that ex came to, it's probably your ex that you were messing with, that came to visit you, blah 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 blah. He knew some of these triggers, he knew some of these things because she spilled. Don't be so quick to tell all your past. Oh, I slept with 20 men, but I'm born again now. Some of these people will use that against you. You don't need to reveal everything all at once. I'm married and still every day I'm learning something new about my husband. I'm learning something new. I'm not saying don't be honest, but I'm saying don't be too quick to vomit and be, oh, I'm an open book, I say anything. I'm guilty of that. Don't be an open book all the time. Don't give people that do not deserve your access to you. So yes, I think we have come to the end of this video. If you watch this series, or if you binge this series like I did, leave me some important, like, pertinent points. Maybe I'll do a part 2 in the comments. If you want to watch, let me know. If you watch, let me know. If you have some thoughts on what I've said and what I've shared, also let me know. I just wanted to bring this to you guys' attention so we could talk about it. At the end of the day, the final thing I would say is, women, give yourself grace. Okay, I love the fact that she gave herself grace. She admitted where she went wrong. She admitted where she was naive, where she was gullible, and she just gave herself grace. And I love that. Generally speaking, the comments were overwhelmingly positive. Yes, we knew that, you messed up here, you should have, this was obvious now, but people were generally positive, and I love that. I love the solidarity of coming together to hold this woman up, and I wish we can do that more often. All right, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next one. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share. Bye.